So, Coach, what's the plan to finish out the season strong?
Well, we got 3 weeks left, and we're just the practices have been solid, and the players have been in good spirits, and I think we're making some progress individually. Doing a lot of position training and not as much system training, but today we primarily was working on just scouting report stuff against for Oregon for our upcoming match on Friday, and so I've got no complaints. And the IR is the IR, and there's not much change. Although I think we're going to get Erin back. Erin will be back, and she's taking a little while to get over the mono, but I think she's recovered fully, and I think McKenna Martins continues to make progress. And so I think we'll get a chance to kind of expand her role this weekend. So that's good news. The good news is those guys can really help. And it give us a little bit of depth in there and some options should we need the options. And so, Kamiley was out today, sick, had a migraine and fighting a virus, but I think she'll be fine.
So,
I know it's hard to go here every week and not much really changes.
You had an up and down with Oregon State and Oregon last time.
Right.
What do you have to do to not be so up and down against them this?
Well, I think the Oregon State was frustrating because we had those guys down 2-0 and certainly had opportunities in set 3 to win the match in 3, but I just think that's a product of our lineup, and it's if you were at the match on Saturday, the first half of that match, those sets were great, really good volleyball, fun, exciting. We're hanging in there offensively, but when you're playing against a Pac-12 opponent and you're short some arms and some blocking, they're going to exploit your weaknesses pretty quickly. And our last match that we won was against Oregon. Oregon, a lot of the teams right now are going through the injury bug as well. Maybe not to the same extent as we are, but Oregon's certainly been affected by that. Their setter is down right now. Didn't play last weekend because of a concussion, so their lineup has changed a little bit. So we'll see. It's kind of the war of attrition. Who can hang out and hang on the longest. And the thing with concussions that it could happen at any moment in the practice. An inadvertent ball gets ricocheted off someone's arms, and a kid's not prepared for it, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're out. I think that's what's happened with Oregon. I know Oregon State's had a few concussions as well. I'm not sure if they've been out to the same extent that our players have been out, but everyone's certainly dealing with that issue. And I'm not sure how to fix it. I think it's a conference issue in our sport. Our medical staff told us that we have more concussions in our sport than football. And so I think we need to start working on a prototype helmet and face masks to do something to prevent it. I don't really know what the answer is yet.
So has that gone up over the years, or do you think we just are more aware of it? So
That's a good question. It's like if you've been aware of what's going on in California with the fires, right? With all the fires in California. I grew up in Southern California, and I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and I never remember the fires being that bad. Now I'm coaching here for 30 years now, and I never remember having this many concussions. Now I think it's a product of both. I think the athletes are bigger, stronger, and the ball's traveling faster. I think the ball is harder. It's not as forgiving, and then I think that the education and the knowledge of concussions and the protocol that puts somebody in concussion protocol now becomes more sensitive. And so I think it's just a combination of all those factors. And at the end of the day, it's just, there's not much you can really do about it.
Coach, you mentioned the other teams in the conference going through some type of injury dilemma as well. Just from a conference standpoint, how do you think the Pac-12 will fare in the NCAA tournament?
Faring in the what?
NCAA tournament.
That's a good question. I think that I don't think we're getting a lot of credit in the poll. I think we're a lot better than the poll says. I think Washington and certainly Utah and UCLA and USC, I think they'll do well. Now, whether or not we have a national champion, I think that Stanford, we saw that Plummer played against us. That's the first time she's played, I think, maybe in 7 weeks. I mean, it's been a long time. She didn't play against us when we were up there, and I think she didn't play 2 weeks before that match. So it's been a long time, and I'm not sure why they played us. We're certainly not a threat. And maybe that's why they played us, was because they know that she could kind of get her feet under her in our match. Now, whether or not they're gearing her up to make a tournament run here and a deep one and try to put themselves in a position to win another national championship, I'm hoping that's the case. But I think that the conference teams typically have done well. You hope you get at least 1 or 2 teams in the Final Four, but we'll see. The parity overall nationally is much greater than it ever has been. And, on any given night, you have one bad night in the tournament. You got to win 6 in a row to be a national champion. So you got to win 4 in a row to get the Final Four. So you have one bad night, then you're out. So I think that they'll be competitive. Obviously I'll be standing on the sidelines and really rooting hard for the conference to do well.
Coach, only speaking about the 2 NLIs that we have, China and Emory, can you talk a little bit about both of those?
Sure. Yeah, I think we have a terrific class coming in, and as soon as we can, get all the NLIs in, and I think I'll get a chance to really comment it. But Emory is a setter that's going to step in and really take over the reins for Julia. Julia's has really been invaluable for our program, and I've been fortunate to have her. But I feel like Emory is going to step right in, and right now I'm pretty excited about her coming in a semester early. So she'll get a full semester under her belt to learn the offense and kind of just get acclimated to school. And then China Crouch is going to give us elite size, terrific young lady from San Diego, 6'6", 6'5", really terrific athlete, good personality, been playing volleyball for a long time. So we're excited about both those guys. And then as soon as we get the other NLIs, I'll have more of a comment about the class in general. We're excited about that, and I'm hoping the other NLIs come in.
Anything else?
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.